It's time now to review the headlines of today's newspapers, and we're going to start with This Day on Saturday.
All right, the newspaper of record.
Yes.
Let's quickly run through the cover from top to bottom. The story on the window says Barclays advises switch to Nigeria's shorter-dated dollar bonds. And the rider, global stocks drop as Trump reignites trade war risk with threat of 50% tax on EU goods. Nigerian stock market drops by 211 billion naira. That story is on page 5. Not something very cheery,
No.
either at home or in America, or even globally. Let's hope that, again, common sense will prevail on the part of the world's strongest man, and then things will pick up in Nigeria. Under that window story, the strip, Judge temporarily blocks Trump's plan to stop Harvard enrolling foreign students. Another of Trump's issues. There are quite plenty.
It's very plenty. And the heavy-handedness is actually, I don't think Americans are used to this type of activity or action from their president.
They will get used to it 4 years.
They
almost get used to it.
Foreign students, and all the foreign students who are currently in Harvard should transfer somewhere else or risk
And that's like a quarter of the entire student population of Harvard, isn't it?
Yes, it's definitely a significant population.
Maybe like the other things is asking for them to come to the table and discuss and cut a deal, whatever that means. Because I see that it is the Homeland Security that is driving it, and when you've got students who are vehemently, anti-Semitic, allegedly in what they're saying, maybe there is a need to discuss.
Yeah, but Harvard didn't even have the issues that Columbia did, so I don't even know if this has anything to do with anything other than show of power.
Okay. America should deal with it. All right, the other story, again on page 5, Fagbemi, Tinubu will not falter in anti-corruption fight despite defections. I think that we took that in the week that was. And then the big story, the lead with opposition at Crossroads, Atiku, Saraki move to heal deepening divide. And the rider, Atiku meets Aregbesola in Osun to woo aggrieved politicians. Saraki upbeat about achieving reconciliation in PDP. ADA, some people have said it is ADA, like Cutlass, but ADA coalition may launch on May the 30th, which will be a day after the president will be telling us what he has done in 2 years. 2 important pictures on the cover of This Day Today, in search of peace in PDP, and that's showing Saraki and the governor of Abia, former governor of Bayelsa, and then Ibrahim Dankwambo, former president of that's the former governor of Gombe State, as part of the PDP reconciliation meeting in Enugu yesterday. And then the other picture is that of the Time CEO, Jessica Sibley, with the president of Dangote Group, Atiku Dangote, during the Time Magazine Award, where Dangote was honored among the 100 most influential leaders shaping the future of philanthropy across the world at the inaugural 2025 Time 100 Philanthropy Dinner held in New York recently.
Yes, that's very commendable to be known or seen or recognized for philanthropy. I think it's something that people should imbibe, in our cultures, that you need to give back.
Absolutely. And then interestingly, for today's newspaper, the back page of today's This Day, 2 important opinion articles. One by the editor of the paper himself, Obin Nachima, a brilliant journalist that I know so well, who's doing wonderfully well. His column, Reading the Tea Leaves, Honest Assessment of Tinubu's Ministers. And I like the fact that for you, Adesua, it was a quick, beautiful read, just basically highlighting.
He did, he highlighted some ministers that he believed are not pulling their weight, including the Minister of Power, Adebayo Adelabu. And he also called some ministers the sleeping ministers and said that there is a fierce urgency for performance, but also said that he does not envy Hadiza Bala Usman, who obviously has to give an assessment.
Who's the assessor?
Yeah, assessor.
I like the fact that, his point is that there's no way you can fairly assess the president without assessing his full soldiers who are his ministers.
Definitely.
So that's
he
the key
does
thing.
have the largest cabinet since democracy.
Ever in Nigeria. The other article is that of the of Bianca Odumegwu-Ojukwu, the Minister of State for Foreign Affairs, bringing to light from our own perspective as an insider, the inside story, how it all went down in Rome, given the fact that a lot of people have been talking about, what was Obi doing there, what was the point of him going to...
Her article, I think, is important read for any of the social media warriors on either side, because she does seem to believe that it's much ado about nothing. And, she says she was taken aback by the buzz and flack for something as simple as a polite greeting to one's elder, not to mention their president.
I like the fact that she's putting records straight from her own perspective, but for somebody who, from way back, she has always been, in the media herself. Why would you be surprised that that people would take interest, on social media in matters like that, who is supposed to have a handshake with the Pope, who is not supposed to, things like that. But I like the fact that as a minister is saying, okay, I was there, I saw what happened, and this is, my own report. That's fair. That's fair. Do we have time for any other paper? Saturday Telegraph.
Oh, do you want to take the Telegraph or the Guardian?
Oh, the Guardian is interesting.
Everyone needs to see the cover. I think everyone needs to see the cover of the Guardian. So let's quickly take the Guardian, because the lead story on the Guardian says, Operation Jagabanize Southern Nigeria on the rise.
Operation Jagabanize. Okay, they
this
don't have Guardian.
Image is just impressive.
No, it is impressive. But you have a Telegraph or Vanguard there. Telegraph says coalition CPC bloc opts for chair. Secretary Atiku Obi Erufai for primaries. Okay, interesting. And then May 29, kudos knocks as Tinubu hits halfway mark, which is what we will go through all of next week.
Yes.
And it will be interesting because people want to know what is actually happening. Even if you have to give yourself some pass mark, let us at least be informed about what is happening. So that's what Telegraph, have on the cover there. All right, then, Adisua, we have to...
I think we have to go, but it's been a beautiful Saturday, Mr. Tiba. I think you missed me on this show.
We've missed you. We hope that Abuja has not completely snatched you.
Oh.
But good to have you around.
Time will tell. Thank you.